Simple interest is a method for calculating interest where the interest is only calculated on the principal amount or the initial sum of money over a specified period of time. The formula for simple interest is I equals PRT, or interest equals principal times rate times time. I is the interest, P is the principal or initial amount, R is the interest rate written in decimal form, and T is time measured in years. In example 2a, we want to calculate the simple interest. Rita borrowed $15,000 at 6.5% for 8 years to make repairs to her home. How much interest will Rita pay on this loan? We'll use the formula I equals PRT, principal times rate times time. The principal is $15,000. The rate is 5.6%, which we will write as a decimal. We need to move that decimal point 2 times to the left to write that percent in decimal form. And then we multiply by time, which is 8 years. 15,000 times 0.056 times 8 will give us $6,720. This is the interest that Rita has to pay in addition to the $15,000 that she initially borrowed. In Part B, Angel received an inheritance of $50,000 that he chose to invest in an account that pays 2.75%. How much interest will Angel earn in 10 years? For simple interest, we use I equals PRT. Interest equals principal times rate times time. Principal is the initial amount, $50,000. We can multiply by the rate, which is 2.75%, written as a decimal, that would be 0.0275. And then time, 10 years. 50,000 times 0.0275 times 10 gives us $13,750. This is the interest the Angel will have at the end of 10 years. Joey borrowed $22,500 at 4% to pay for tuition. How much will he have paid back after 5 years? Let's start by finding the interest. Interest equals principal times rate times time. I equals PRT. The principal is the initial amount, $22,500. The rate, 4%, we need to write as a decimal, 0.04. Time is measured in years, in this case 5. 22,500 times 0.04 times 5. This is $4,500, and that's the interest. Notice this question is asking how much will he pay back. So we need to add the initial amount that he borrowed to the interest. This will give us a total of $27,000 that Joey needs to pay back at the end of 5 years. In Part B, Maria invested $18,275 in an account that pays 3%. How much will be in her account after 12 years? Interest equals principal times rate times time. Principal is the initial amount invested, $18,275. Rate, the 3% we will write as a decimal, 0.03, and time is 12 years. 18,275 times 0.03 times 12. Here we get $6,579, and that is interest. If we want to find the total amount she has in her account, we need to add that to the initial principal. So we'll add the 18,275 that she initially invested to get a total $24,854. So this is the total that's in her account at the end of 12 years. In example 4A, Harry borrowed $48,999 to buy a truck. He was able to get a loan at 5.8% for 5 years. What will Harry's monthly payment be over the next 5 years? Let's start by finding the interest. I equals PRT. The principal, $48,999, times the rate, 0.058, times the 5 years. 48,999 times 0.058 times 5. Here we get 14,209 and 71 cents. This is the interest that he has to pay. To find the total amount, we'll add the initial borrowed, $48,999, to the interest, so add the 48,999 to get a total 63,208 and 71 cents. This is the total he has to pay back. But he's making monthly payments over 5 years. 5 years times 12 months is 60 months. So there's 60 months that he's making payments. If we want to find the monthly payment, we can take the total and divide by the number of months, 60. So 63,208.71 divided by the total number of months, 60, will give us $1,053, and then we get 0.4785. Let's round that. Since we're talking about money, we want to round that to the hundredths place. So it looks like his monthly payment will be $1,053.48 if we round to the nearest penny. And in part B, Vince borrowed $30,000 to put a pool in his backyard. He was able to get an 8-year loan at 7.3%. What is Vince's monthly payment? Let's start by finding the interest. I equals principal times rate times time. Principal is $30,000. The rate is 7.3%, which we need to write as a decimal, 0.073 times the number of years, 8. 30,000 times 0.073 times Here we get 17,520. That is interest. To find the total amount that he owes, we'll add that to the initial amount borrowed, 30,000. So he owes $47,520 total. That's the total amount of the loan at the end of 8 years. If we want to find his monthly payment, we need to see how many months that is. It was 8 years. There are 12 months in a year, so we'll multiply by 12 to get 96. We'll divide that total by the 96 months. So 47,520 divided by 96 months will give us $495 per month. That is his monthly payment.